Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today, I make bourbon caramels with sea salt, perfect for gift giving. And I make an excellent holiday cocktail, eggnog frappe. But first, join me by the fireside. It's this year's theme at the Arms Family Museum. Well, if you have been a visitor to Memories of Christmas Past here at the Arms Museum, you used to go right in the back door. But now we are going to change things up for admission and use the carriage house.
We are. Our response has been so great over the years. It keeps building and building. So in order to accommodate all of the crowds, we actually are taking our admissions in our carriage house now. So you'll come into that building first, pay your admission fee, and then you can head on into the house museum.
Hey, and I think that would mean more space for the gift house, or the gift shop, right?
Absolutely.
See, more gifts, my favorite part. Well, thanks. I mean, because this is going to be very busy this year. You just can't come once and think you've seen it, because every year it changes. And that is all to the magic of the elf here, Anthony Aurelio, because you start this in the summer, but you've been planning it all year round. Like the minute one year's over.
Yeah, I'm actually working on next year's already.
It's insane.
It is.
He really hit it out of the park this year. I mean, we're talking, the theme is
By the Fireside.
And we don't really want this first room to be by the fireside because this is paper.
This is all paper, 1910 to about 1950.
And it's the honeycomb, and I had no idea. Wait until you see some of these items. And this is developed by a company originally out of Pittsburgh.
Yes, the inventor's name is Martin Beisel. He's German, and the company still exists today.
Well, the sitting room looks a little bit different than it did last year. Yes. This was my favorite room. It was the mid-century room. And now, what would you call this decor?
Well, it's, I try to carry out like as if it were Mr. Arms' den and so forth. It has a lot of natural elements in it. Mm-hmm. Mr. Arms here, Wilford, and you know, some of the pieces that they have collected or were family heirlooms over the years and so forth.
Is that his pipe?
That is his smoke stand. That's not his pipe. His ship over there, he had a collection of ships, model ships. Mm-hmm. And also his trophies, Sterling Silver Trophy awards from Youngstown Country Club.
So this lamp has deer hooves?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is this from the Arms collection?
No, it's not. That's just, you know, something we found.
But it's cool.
It's cool. No. And then again, we have the Kugel tree here that's on loan by Linda and Dan Dixon from Lisbon. And Kugels were one of the first blown ornaments. Heavy glass with a brass cap. And they originated with, again, the traditional ball, and then they had blown clusters of grapes and pine cones and artichokes.
The dining room, unbelievable. It's Asian. I mean, every room is striking. I love this every year, but every year I don't think I could love it anymore, and I do.
This is going to be the surprise when people come through because it's so unexpected, and people always ask me what's my inspiration, how do I come up with the ideas, and it's always you know, maybe a Santa or an ornament and so forth. Well, this year for this room was a 1910 Christmas card that had lanterns and holly and so forth on them. We'll show you those later. And then again, this evolved over really 6 years of pulling Asian elements into this to pull it off. And in keeping with the theme, By the Fireside, we needed something very
so
dramatic
striking.
And making a statement over it. And, you know, kind of did a little research on the internet, putting some sort of pagoda and so forth, and they weren't big enough. So I collaborated with a good friend of mine, Patty Reagan, and she constructed this, put it together 100%. The two cards that inspired the whole
thing is from
room
these two little
right
cards.
here. Yes, these date from 1910. Have their little message in there.
Oh, these are so sweet. Who sent that card out?
Well, it was never signed,
Oh.
but again, it's just a wonderful piece. And again, this is what inspired me to do
this whole room.
The whole room.
Well, Bill Lawson, director of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, you oversee all of this year after year. But I think the most important part is this year. You are going to allow photography. Is this true?
Yes, it is. We've been pretty strict about photography in the past.
Yes.
Not only for convenience of our other visitors, but also because of safety and conditions of the collections that we own or borrow. But we will be allowing people to take non-flash photography in the museum during this year.
Wow, that is huge, because I mean, I've seen people try to take pictures, and you know, the poor, you know, docents and everything are like, no, you're not allowed. And it's great. You're just like the Met. You're allowed to take pictures at the Met now too.
Well, it's again, it's changing and thinking, but the big issue is no flash. But people want to capture the image or take a selfie to say, I've been here.
Yeah.
And that really helps us down the road with social media too.
We will return with more memories of Christmas past on The Casey Malone Show. I am here with Rude the Dude at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery, and you know they have a huge beer selection, but you have really upped your wine and, of course, your entree selection.
Yes, we did. We added about 30 new bottles of wine. Also supporting some of our local wineries here. Wine on tap with Willand Cellars and Hubbard. And then here we have, this is on our menu daily, our cedar plank salmon with our house-made blueberry salsa and vanilla porter barbecue sauce.
And that is just one of the many entrees that you can choose if you have your party over in the Wine and Spirits room. You can really select your menu, beer, wine, everything you want.
Yes, we customize your party to however you like it. We're actually starting to get booked up for graduations and weddings already for next year. This whole month's booked up, and it's a good place. Seats up to 150, and it's a good place to have a party.
That's right. Celebrate at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Cheers!
Is it time to update your color style? RNS Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop RNS Paint.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for over 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may face. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court, and remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at elizabethbernardlaw.com.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service, independent insurance agency. We work with several insurance companies to offer you choices for your insurance needs. We'll find the right product at the right price. Personal, business, farm, life, trust Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important, we'll take care of the details. Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
Woolley Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Woolley Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Island Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living.
Si hablas predominantemente español, te ayudaremos a aprender inglés. Ven a trabajar para nosotros.
The perfect perfect gift. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, the best food in the valley. For every $50 you spend on gift cards, you get a free $10 bonus card. Stonebridge Grill and Tavern, Route 224 in Boardman, and their new location on Route 46 in Howland. Well, one of my favorite displays every year, when it's available, is the crystal tree. And this is Doug Cornwell's baby. And Doug, I love the flocking. That was brilliant.
We thought we'd try a little something different this year, and the flocking came into mind. So,
and then with the highlight of the blue lights.
Just a touch of blue, and it brings it out very, very pretty.
And you know, this whole room, the whole library is flocked, and I think it really is gorgeous. Trends come and go. Do you see flocking coming back with people and the way they decorate?
Yes, there's a lot more flock trees being bought, and a lot of people like to, put them up every year.
Do you flock your trees at home?
Yeah, in fact, I just put one up in the bedroom that's flocked.
Really?
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Christopher Radko, I think Anthony told me last year, he had his trees flocked.
Yes.
Now tell me the story. This is real lamb's wool with this display.
Correct. I'm always on the outlook for rare and unusual Christmas items, and I focus on the German period, the early 1900s piece, and someone had found this in a shop that was for sale, sent me pictures of the 4 dogs, and I immediately had to have it. It's that unusual. And if you look up on the mantle here, the original musher there, he's covered in mohair. He has his original whip in his hand, and the doll that sits on the sleigh here is German also. She's all felt with wool clothing, and her face is all hand painted.
And of course, when you bring your kids to the arms, they might not really appreciate everything that's going on upstairs, but the lower level, Tracy, this is really good.
Yeah, so we have turned this space into Santa's Village down here. We've been kind of playing with that theme for the last couple of years, but we really amped it up this year thanks to a wonderful partnership and sponsorship with our local Macy's store. So we were so excited to work with Macy's to help us fund this beautiful space and to just have some really extra special activities this year that we've never been able to do before.
So you're gonna have like story hours?
Yes.
And you're gonna have crafts?
Yes.
I mean, and so it really does bring the whole family together.
It does.
And I think that is brilliant.
Exactly.
And
so we
much needed.
Yeah, so the new thing this year upstairs is you're going to be able to take photos upstairs, but down here we really wanted to kind of put these vignettes so you can do your family photos down here. We'll have the sleigh back out in the main part of the room with costumes so folks can dress up either as toy soldiers or elves, and we have Santa jackets this year as a new costume. We have this beautiful cabin in here.
Lovely.
That is a great photo backdrop. So those are things that are going to be here every day, along with our crafts. Those will be here every day. But then on Sundays at 2 o'clock, we're going to be doing hot chocolate just down here in the lower level. And then we're also going to be doing some classic Christmas stories as well, reading those aloud.
Well, Anthony is also the curator for the gift shop. And this is my favorite room in the whole Arms Museum because I always get something really special here because you curate some vintage pieces and then you have newer items. And I love this. This goes in with the dining room, right?
Correct. We have an Asian influence this year in the dining room, and what I've tried to do is purchase items, new and old, okay, that reflect what you'll see throughout the entire exhibit. Vintage Santas, vintage ornaments, and then, you know, again, in the Asian room, we have lanterns in there.
And look at, what a clever idea. You could just stick your little cocktail umbrellas on a tree. How easy is this? I was looking at so many of these pieces, and now I see the artists are looking vintage.
Correct.
But they're not vintage pieces. Like, you look at this and you think, oh my gosh, I remember this.
Right.
But it looks that way.
Right. Yes, we have 2 lines here this year. One's Bethany Lau, and the other one is Glitterville. And Bethany Lau, she creates reproduction Santa Clauses as if they were from the early 1900s.
Yeah.
And she does, they're excellent quality.
Yeah, and you know, it's today's It's today's purchase, but it's tomorrow's collectible. I like that line that you used. But look at, and I like that you are supporting the Polish Arts Club.
We are.
And these are very old-fashioned Polish ornaments, this style.
It's an old tradition, and they're still making them today. And we're thrilled to have them part of the gift shop, and,
And the stacking dolls, these look really old, but they're not. And these are nice, ethnic-themed ornaments.
And we do have some in the showcase that are the nesting dolls also. So lighted plastic pieces to just the kitschy, 50s and 60s plastic ornaments and so forth.
Yeah, and then
also.
of course, the Youngstown-made Twinkler.
We have the Youngstown Twinkler ornament here made by John Garver, and those are always a big seller. So if you want one, I would say come in, because every year they sell out fast and they're getting harder and harder to find.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. When someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
Turn your house into a dream home with Pebblestone. Ugly concrete? Cover it with Pebblestone. Like a beautiful stone carpet, Pebblestone is easy to clean and covers broken or pitted concrete. Installed in one day, in any weather condition. Transform your messy basement or garage into a gorgeous living space. Best of all, we do all the work. From moving your items, preparing and cleaning, to installation and organization. Call today for a free steel organizational system with your purchase of a Pebblestone floor. For luxury stone flooring that everyone can afford, trust the Valley's own Pebblestone.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Island Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living.
Si hablas predominantemente español, te ayudaremos a aprender inglés. Ven a trabajar para nosotros.
There's a new standard in assisted living.
One that combines comfort, luxury, convenience, and the highest quality expert care.
Your loved ones can experience it now in Canfield's premier senior living location.
The Inn at Ironwood offers fine dining and amenities such as a concierge, salon, housekeeping, and laundry services.
And a truly elegant setting in Canfield.
Call us for more information or visit us and take a tour.
The Inn at Ironwood, Canfield's premier senior living location.
Christmas is really special to us because we know that there are going to be a ridiculous amount of happy faces because they're opening up a piece of jewelry from Kamara Jewelers.
You have a legacy of a family standing behind the product. We put so much into Christmas and we do it all for you. We want you to have the perfect gift when you wake up on Christmas morning and a smile that you're going to remember forever.
Get real, get Kamara.
It is holiday time in my mom's kitchen, and we are not big bakers.
No.
But the caramels we made around Kentucky Derby time with the bourbon and the sea salt, oh my gosh, were those
Big
delicious. And it's really a pretty easy recipe.
It is.
And I bought some really festive wax paper wraps. They're so pretty. And we're gonna wrap them in these. And then we can hand them out to our friends at Christmas time, and they're gonna think that we're really big sports.
That's right.
And that we know what we're doing, but we actually don't. So we're gonna make up a batch, and I'm also, a little bit later on, gonna do the eggnog frappe.
Oh, that's good.
For this recipe, you'll need 2 cups of sugar, 1/2 cup of light corn syrup, 1/4 cup water, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 1/2 cup of butter sliced into pieces, 2 tablespoons of bourbon, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, and sea salt flakes for garnish. This is really an easy recipe. The 2 cups of sugar go in, and then the 1/2 cup of corn syrup, and then the water. Now's the hard part. We are going to take this over to the stove, medium heat, liquefy until it is a deep amber color. All right, this is the hardest part of this recipe. It is a good 10 minutes to get the amber color. See this beautiful amber? Perfect color. All right, I'm gonna turn off this heat. Now we are going to add our butter. This is 1 stick. And watch how it bubbles. Okay, and we are going to add our sweetened condensed milk. Now I'm going to put our heat on medium-low. And what we have to do now is bring this mixture to 240 degrees. Well, according to my Candy Dandy thermometer, it is at 240 degrees. If by chance you don't have one, you just go right there, glop it in ice water, and it is balling up. Let's see, yep. And I turned off the heat, add the kosher salt, and our bourbon. There we go, a little more chemical reaction. And we'll go and put this in the pan. An 8x8 or a 9x9 lined with parchment paper, and then spray some non-stick spray on top. And by the magic of television, I made a batch last night, and let it cool to room temperature before you put it in the fridge. At least a few hours, but I think overnight's good.
That's right.
So, here it is. Okay, come on out, buddy.
There we go.
So take it out of the pan and we flatten it up. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh, there's a little chunk there, a little treat for you. Now is a good time to sprinkle it with the sea salt. And I, of course, love the Malden. And I mean, it's such a perfect mix of sweet and salt. Now there's a lot of flavor packed in these, so you don't want to make really big pieces. Wait about 20 minutes after you remove it from the refrigerator so it's easier to work with. And then you just cut the little pieces, there you go. And with our new fancy wrappers, instead of wax paper, you just put it in.
Put it in, roll it out.
Look at that, oh my. Give it a little twist on the ends. And look at that, gift worthy. Isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna go after you. That one's coming off. I'm gonna have to train her again. Well, you had one of these last night.
I did.
And delicious. Ken thought of this brilliant way to lighten up the eggnog. I mean, no matter what you're gonna do, eggnog is
part of the holiday.
Highly caloric. So he comes up with this idea where he blends it with ice. So I'll quickly go over this. This is a made-up recipe, and these are approximate measurements, equal parts ice. So for 2 drinks, we'll do 1 cup of ice, and then I just am using a store-bought eggnog, and 1 cup of that, okay? Whoops. So we go into there, and then that is 1.5 ounces of dark rum, but you can use bourbon. You know, you can use whatever you'd like to use in there. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now, that is for the garnier. So now we put this on, hit it on blend. 1.
After all our hard work with the candy, we
know,
deserve
really
a
have
martini.
been. Ooh, excuse me. We're kind of like Lucy and Ethel.
Yes.
But this makes a nice portion.
I didn't stuff any down my pockets or.
Then with some fresh ground nutmeg on the top. So let me know what you think. Cheers. It is delicious.
Another wonderful recipe. Here's to our Kenny.
Here's to Kenny, Santa Claus. And I'll tell you, the caramels look beautiful. This drink is light and refreshing, and you won't feel so bogged down. And all the recipes are on my website, caseymalonshow.com. You're going to have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
With these little treats.
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.